Hey good people, it is Tashara from Politics and Fashion here today with a video that really is a follow-up to my original Quiet Luxury video. Now that video has seen a tremendous amount of success and I'm grateful for that because I feel like I was quite vulnerable. Sometimes I get hesitant to really put all of my socio-political views out on different platforms because you never know what people's responses are going to be. However, you all showed great love and I feel like you honored, even if you disagreed with my position, you honored that perspective that I shared. And so I really appreciate you for that. And I thought that it would be great to just expand this notion of luxury because one of the things that I think is troubling around this conversation about quiet luxury, or maybe in the luxury space in general, is that oftentimes we kind of have a very myopic view and we think of it just as design houses, or we think of it just as fashion. We think of it just as those things that are material or tangible, when in fact, luxury can mean anything. Lisa Nichols, who is the self-help guru or motivational speaker, often says that luxury is privileged circumstances. So no matter what that is, how are we demonstrating our privilege? By what we welcome into our life. And I have a list of 10 things that I want to share with you that really are my everyday luxuries, that are non-material things, y'all, that have changed my life, okay? I'm talking about I am squarely in that rich auntie status, not because of what I wear, it's because of how I live. And I am proud of that because we fought hard to get here, to get on this MLK Boulevard, okay? So if that sounds good to you, please keep watching. This video is for everyone, no matter if you have a whole bunch of disposable income or you barely have any at all. I hope that it will be inspiring for everyone who watches it because I wish I had this kind of video 15 years ago to really help to shape my mindset. But before I get started, please follow me all around the internet, including social media at Politics and Fashion, and tune into my new podcast, Justice. And at the time of filming, it is preparing for a launch of season 3. Now let's jump into it. Let me share with you today's OOTD. It is this dress that you all would have seen in my capsule wardrobe video by Lily Silk. It is coming across very gold on camera, but it's actually more of a chartreuse color, so it's kind of a golden green hue. My necklaces are by LaFleur. This actually comes as a set. And I know, friends, who am I with the minimal jewelry? Doing something different, okay? So I'm just wearing studs today, and in the first hole, they are by Idol. These are lab-grown diamonds. Everything that I can link, including my makeup, will be down below. Now, let's get to this list. The first lifestyle luxury that I live by is therapy and mental health resources. Now, I have shared with you all before my relationship with a therapist. It has been ongoing for the better part of maybe 10 to 15 years now, and that is why I absolutely love BetterHelp. And this part of the video is sponsored by my friends over at BetterHelp. That is where I currently see my therapist. And what I love about them, you all, is how easy it is to see someone. I make it a point bi-weekly to log on. You're able to do so via app or on the web page. You can even chat with your therapist. So being able to have this real-time relationship with a mental health professional, I think is so important, especially if you were in a moment of crisis. The therapist that I chose, I didn't just like get randomly matched with someone. As a matter of fact, you go through a questionnaire and you say what you're looking for, whether it be the person's identity, what they have had experience in, or their areas of specialty. And then you can choose from a list of practitioners on the website that meet your criteria. I know for a fact that whether it be my confidence and my ability to feel the fear and do it anyway, which I face a lot of, whether it be battling through my imposter syndrome or interpersonal relationship issues, there have been a number of things over the years where I have struggled, and my relationship with the therapist has gotten me to the other side. And the reason I am calling this a luxury is because I know that everyone may not have the ability or the time because of insurance issues or because of location, because of just resources in general, to have a relationship with a therapist. And that is why, although this part of the video is sponsored, I would talk to you about BetterHelp regardless, because they have a sliding scale, y'all. So you were able to see a therapist from anywhere between $60 to $120 per session. Maybe it's just once a month for you. Maybe it's bi-weekly. Maybe it is every week. Whatever it is that you can afford, you don't have to be limited or prohibited because of cost or a lack of insurance. So please give BetterHelp a try. I will make sure that all of the information is down below in the description box, including my special code. DM me over on Instagram if you were able to secure that relationship with a therapist, and tell me how you are doing in some of your big goals. I would love to know. So I mentioned therapy and mental health resources because those things don't actually have to be the same. And probably about 7 years ago, around the time of my cancer diagnosis, y'all, I dove headfirst into a path of personal growth and development. I'm talking about I was reading everything from metaphysical resources to topics around manifestation. I loved people like Gabby Bernstein, who, if you saw my vlog, my BFF Margot thinks is so basic. It's basic. Like Anna Delvey, it's so basic. She's still my guru. I love Gabby. We 10 toes down. But Gabby Bernstein, who I feel like her approach to self-help and personal development is very tangible and anyone can grasp it. It's not like a Deepak Chopra where you feel like you have to have an advanced degree to understand it, right? I'm watching Super Soul Sunday episodes by Oprah. I'm listening to podcasts on Being is one of my favorites. And I just believed that the person I was could be better and that I could change my life. And so I used the primary resource that I think is finite and that we all struggle with, which is my time, and gave myself the luxury of becoming the best version of who I am. Now, clearly, I'm still on the path towards self-actualization. I'm not enlightened. I'm far from perfect. But what I know is that I have a lot more confidence. I am a lot more assertive, a lot more stick-to-itness than I have had ever before in my life. I would not be able to be a solopreneur if I had not unlocked this dimension through not just therapy, but also study, pouring into myself through journaling, having a strong affirmations practice, being focused on planning and productivity. It is something that I approached almost like I was getting a PhD. Okay? And people say that about me. When I get on a path towards something, I'm like a dog with a bone. All right? I do not let it go. I want to explore every aspect of it. And definitely, pouring into mental health resources in all forms is a luxury that I live by. The next luxury that I live by is flying first class. We're flying first class. That's that first class shoulder. I have only booked 2 first class tickets in advance, okay? But I have a bit of a hack that I'll tell you all now, which is that I will buy an economy seat, and at the last minute, I will check the website to see if I can upgrade to first class, which tends to be a lot less expensive. I actually did that on my flight between Houston and Santa Fe because we had a layover. And the upgrade, y'all, was only like $175, which I definitely think was worth it. What can I say about first class flying? It is the lifestyle that I should be living. I'm worth it. I should have it. I need it, okay? It is obviously top-notch customer service. The seats are 100% more comfortable. I am almost 6 feet tall, y'all. So being able to actually lounge and have space is phenomenal. Girl, the snacks are top tier. And as soon as you sit down, they give you a snack and a glass of champagne. People haven't even got to their seats yet. And you eating pretzels, okay, like that are like coated with butter and sprinkled with organic salt. Like, I mean, it's on a different level, y'all. In the back, we be eating dry biscuits. In the front, they all but put the napkin in our collar. You know, like British shows. The flight attendants give you a different level of service, and the food and the drinks, in my mind, they just taste better. This is probably not true. In my mind, they taste better. If you have never given yourself the privilege or the luxury of flying first class, I highly recommend it. If you have a family, let them sit in the back. Okay? You be the Rosa Parks. You say I'm sick. This is for my ancestors. Okay? You say I'm doing this for my people. I'm going to sit here. The husband, the bae, the partner, the kids, put them in the back. Flying first class has been one of the most amazing luxuries that I live by. The next one is spa treatments. Spa treatments. And I blame my mom for this because she unlocked this in me when I was probably about 16. She would take me to Spa Sidel, which is in the Atlanta area. And I remember my first spa treatment, and it felt like nothing I had ever experienced before. I didn't even know it was possible to have someone treat you so well and to nurture your body and to come out and just be glowing. I've loved it ever since. I just love in general, you all, to treat myself nicely. And I don't know if that's something that has to be said, but just as a reminder, our lives are so hard day to day, especially if we are caretakers or nurturers in some way. We're working full time. We have so many things to take care of, responsibilities and burdens that we shoulder. I want somebody to treat me nice. All right. And if I have to pay for it, that's fine. It is a luxury that I feel like is worth the investment. And as a matter of fact, what I have started doing is visit a Korean spa that is nearby much more often. I go at least once a month. Twice a month is actually my goal, where they have hot tubs, they have a steam room, they have a sauna, they have great food, they have lounge chairs, they have body scrubs and polishes, they have massages, and the entry is only $30. So again, while it is a luxury in that I'm using disposable income, right? I don't need to go to the spa. It is not cost prohibitive. And if it's something you're interested in, I definitely recommend you see if there are any of these types of spas in your areas. Groupon is always a great place to start. But outside of that, pretty much on any vacation that I take, I'm going to book a spa treatment. Even if I'm going to a city for work, I'm going to book a spa treatment. I've made it my goal to eat well and to visit a spa everywhere I am outside of the area where I live, and it has been a tremendous experience. Let's talk about now the quiet luxury of microblading. Microblading, and that is for your eyebrows. Now, let me just say, y'all, that I lived through the 90s. I did, for the 99, the 2000. Remember when our eyebrows were pencil thin? Who let us do that? And see, I am true to it, not new to it. So I was 16 years old pulling up, getting my eyebrows arched. I was pressed, okay? And now that I look back, and as my hair follicles have completely deadened, I have wondered why there was no parental oversight over that decision, okay? So between the 90s and then going through chemo, I'm a breast cancer survivor, 3rd generation, by the way. The eyebrows just said, girl, we're done. They said, we're done. Don't call us, we'll call you. They were so sparse till I didn't feel confident going out the house without makeup or going out the house without filling in my brows. And I could just never get that process right, where it didn't look, too filled in, where it looked natural, what's the right color. I'm dark skinned, the brow pencil's looking ashy. And finally last year I said, I'm going to treat myself to microblading. Now in the DC Metro, this service is, I think, very expensive compared to some other places. One of my best friends got hers done in a smaller city for $500. I paid, between the original appointment and the touch-up 6 weeks later, probably about $1,200, so more than double the price. Nevertheless, I have always been very, very happy with the process. I feel like she went with my natural brow line. I could probably go for a touch-up soon. Fun fact, if you have very oily skin, no surprise, the microblading does tend to break down a little bit sooner. And I've done all this talking and haven't told you what it actually is for folks who do not know. Basically, it is a semi-permanent tattoo on your eyebrows to make them fuller. And I will link the person that I went to down below. If you are in this area and you want to book an appointment, she fills up very, very soon. I found her on IG. I just typed in microblading and looked through her pictures, and I was like, okay, she's the one, because she knows how to do the technique on dark skin, on people of color, and that was really important to me. And so now, girl, you know, I just be out the door. I put on a little bit of gloss. Catch me in the wind, okay? So microblading has been a great luxury. Let's get into this next luxury, because I was raised by a Southern grandmama, okay? That means that I got very little sleep, especially on a Saturday, because it was time to get up and clean the house. And my people believe that if you slept a lot, that meant you were pregnant. I just don't. No, I'm actually just a growing teenager, and I need scientifically about 10 hours of sleep. But that was the conclusion that my grandmama and them came to. It was, you must be out here fast, you hiding the pants. And so for many days, many Saturdays, I recall waking up. In my mind, it was at least 6 a.m. In reality, it may have been more like 8 or 9. But that's early as hell for a teenager on a Saturday. And my primary job was to clean this house. You better not go to bed with a dish in the sink. If so, you're getting up and you're cleaning this house. The house needs to be dusted. It needs to be vacuumed. Clean this house was the common refrain that I heard. Now, I'm not just saying this to go through my trauma with you. I'm saying this because I think of myself as a result of my training, since I was knee-high to a duck, of a clean person, until I started hiring house cleaners who are professional. And the level of clean, they got this spick and span. I said, my God, has it been like an episode of Hoarders in here? I didn't know. I felt like, have I just completely fallen off? Have I ceased to see the dirt? Because when they came in here, it was like a whole new world. Like someone opened the curtains for the first time and sunlight came in. I cannot overstate what having cleaners has done to my life. Wiping down the cabinets, the baseboards, dusting, the refrigerator, the washing machine. Do you know the little knobs that be on the bottom of the toilet that you have to like, do you know how much dust gets around that? Okay, clean all of that. Like around the thing, around the bathtub. It's fantastic. It's a luxury that I definitely live by, because the way that I slept that night, knowing that my house was that clean, I felt elite. I really did. I felt like if we were playing Super Mario Brothers, I had saved the queen, my G. I was like, this is life. My house needs to be this clean all the time. Now, full transparency, well, I would love to have someone come in here at least weekly. That does not happen. But at least once a month, I have made a commitment to having someone come in and do a very deep clean. I love it. It is probably one of my favorite luxuries to live by. Speaking of cleanliness, I also want to give a shout out to quality bedding. And bedding has actually been my thing for some time, even when I didn't have the income to really put a big investment in it. You could find me down at the Ross. You could find me over at Walmart. I was very disciplined in particular around what my bedding looked like, if it was from nothing more than a decor standpoint. And then when I started to understand thread count and the different qualities of linen, things just changed for me. And so currently I am in love with actual linen sheets. So I'm saying linen to talk about bedding, of course, but I also have linen sheets that I got from Target. They are by, I cannot think of the Target collection that they're by, but I'll make sure I link them down below. But when I think about them, I think about what people say about the parachute sheets, which I have not invested in, but I'm not opposed to it. I feel like spending $500 for a pair of sheets that you literally lay your head on every night, for me, makes perfect sense. And y'all, some of this also is about how we choose to spend our money, because there have been times where I have foregone the luxury item for that month, the material luxury item, the pair of shoes, the dress, the thing, and instead put that money into going on a great sporadic vacation or a staycation, or put that money towards having cleaners come in, put that money towards a spa treatment. And so there are trade-offs that I hope this list encourages you to think about in a more deliberate way. And I can't go back. It would be like the Princess and the Pea. I cannot go back to low quality sheets. Girl, you put me on a polyester sheet at this big age, I'm flipping the table over. That's my timer. Hold on, girl. I'm back. I'm flipping the table over like the lady down at the Real Housewives of New Jersey, Teresa. I'm not going to be able to do it. What is this? Is this what you think of me? You know, I just... I will bring my own sheets first. I will stop at Target on the way. I cannot do it. Once you get some good bedding in your life, it is the most luxurious experience that we deserve. I am more than halfway through the list, and the next thing I want to talk to you all about are quality undergarments. Quality undergarments. I have been well endowed up top. I actually had a reduction, you all, as part of my breast surgery for my cancer, because I was much larger than this. And I'm sure you can believe that because I was wearing a C cup in middle school. That's what happened. Just as puberty was hitting, I immediately went to being very busty, well endowed up top. What that means is that my family, we all are busty, has always been very much into undergarments, and particularly bras, because my mom always told me our chests are too big to wear, you know, poorly made cheap bras. We have to invest in these things. And so at that time, the best that we knew, of course, was Victoria's Secret. My grandmother would, like, it would be a thing. We would all pack in the car, girl, and go down to Sears to get her a nice long line bra. Okay. Getting a bra was a thing. Getting measured for the bra was a thing. Say all of that to, of course, say that has been ingrained into my head, and over the years, even though I am not quite as large as I once was, I am going to invest in quality bras. I get measured at least once a year. I do not buy bras from places that I don't think they are going to last. It is a place here in the DC Metro called Bloomers, where I currently buy bras to wear if I do not get them from Understance. And have to give a shout out to them. They are a Canadian company. They are woman owned. They believe in inclusivity and diversity in all ways. I have worked with them for years. An amazing, amazing partner. This is not sponsored, but when I tell you the quality of their undergarments and the way that I'm able to get amazing lift without having to wear underwire is something that is bar none. And having a matching set, a matching bra and panties. And for me, it's also about shapewear too, because I will invest in some quality shapewear. My favorite right now, if I'm not wearing the Body Contour line, which is kind of a soft shapewear by Understance, I also will invest in Yummy. Yummy is a great brand. Love them a whole lot, as well as Spanx. And so I will link some of my favorite just underwear, undergarment companies down below. I haven't dove into like La Perla and some of the other luxury companies, but I never want to be that person, y'all, who is wearing a $2,000 dress in raggedy underwear. I don't want that to be my life. And so for me, there is a bit of checks and balances here to ensure that I am taking great care of myself, even in ways that other people might not see. And that is why for me, quality undergarments is one of the quiet luxuries that I live by. Next, let's talk about bougie soap. Bougie soap, girl, I've been known to jump out here and pay $50 for some body wash. And there are people in my life who would be ashamed that I said that. But we all spend money in ways that others may not understand. And for me, the way that I clean my body, the products that I use, I have a chronic ash issue. I'm just going to be honest. Somebody once told me that my ash fights back. Because I promise y'all, I will put on the lotions, the body oils, and the ash it stays omnipresent. And so in order to really mitigate that, what I have to do is start with a very moisturizing body wash. And so over the years, Jo Malone is really my absolute favorite, specifically in the poppy and barley, which has been discontinued. Now I also love the wood, I think it's the wood, sage and sea salt maybe. But as a replacement, I have now gotten on $25 body wash, which is still luxury, by Necessaire, that I absolutely love. And so between my body washes, my soaps, my skincare also, I am a little snobby about. I can be a skincare snob, okay? When I turned 30, I started to have a lot of really bad hormonal acne. And y'all, you know it's hormonal when it is along your jawline. And I had braids at that time, so I thought maybe it was my body having a reaction to the synthetic hair. But I went to the dermatologist and she prescribed me some retinol. What I began to do, again, I'm the PhD type, was do a deep dive into skincare, and I emerged on the other side of it, a skincare hoarder, a skincare snob. I have bins in my bathroom along my process. So one is just for kind of my back stock, so what I'm not currently using of face wash, and then we have serums and eye creams. Girl, it's a whole ass Ulta / Sephora in there, okay? So I treat my skin well, period. From head to toe, from the rooter to the tutor, I treat my skin well. And I will link my body care routine down below for folks who might be interested. It's excessive. And I don't want to be this person, but know that I didn't choose this life. It definitely chose me. Next, let's talk about a good cocktail, a good beverage, okay? I will pull up to the institution just for the drinks. Pour up drink. I don't have to have the best food because I'm more than happy to cook and to eat at home. But if I'm going out into the world, what I'm going to do is have me a high quality cocktail. I'm talking about something made by a mixologist. I don't want a whole bunch of sugar. I don't want a whole bunch of pre-made mixer. I want something that has been carefully curated, okay, calculated. Something that as it hits the palate, you just feel sheer exuberance. That's what I'm talking about. And so lately I have found that speakeasies are the way to go. There are 2 in DC. One of them is called Bar Mini. It actually is by Jose Andres. You would never know what it is if you passed by it. That's the whole point of a speakeasy. And the cocktails are served in tremendous ways. I had one that came in a rocket ship. Another one that was set on fire. The presentation was just, it tends across the board, and the way that the flavors came together, I just will never be the same again. Call me bougie, call me elite, call me classist. This is one area that if I am given those adjectives, I'm going to say, yeah, let's just check all of those, because I'm going to drink some good liquor now. And because I'm too old. I can't drink on the hunch punch. I can't. Remember, we were young in college, or for those who maybe started drinking even earlier, we would drink anything as long as it was alcohol. At this big age, I understand that there are different types of alcohol, different qualities of alcohol, and I even have now a bar cart in my house. I'm so proud of it. I have liquor on there, y'all, that I don't even drink personally. But for me, it's also about entertaining. And that's the great part, too, about a good cocktail, that I love the idea of inviting friends over and being able to, like, create a cocktail for them or to mix something up really quickly. I just feel like it's very welcoming and it feels like I'm home. I don't have to leave my house for a good time anymore. Like, the good time is here, really. And you might be lucky if I invite you over. I'm just saying, because I think my house is a vibe. And having that bar cart and a good cocktail is part of it. But having good cocktails in the world is something that I would happily splurge on. I will spend more on a cocktail or maybe even a great glass of wine than some folks would spend on their entire meal. A luxury that I love. The last luxury that I will mention is all about making my home an inviting space, as I've already mentioned, and that is a bougie candle. It's a bougie candle, my friend. When I bought this condo, got the biggest diptyque candle that they make. I think it was a little less than $300, and that was the housewarming gift to myself. There are people who are like, I would never, ever, I cannot imagine. Do you know what I could do with $300? And I get it, I do. But you also go to Starbucks every day. You also do DoorDash multiple times a week. I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying. We all have our luxuries, okay? So I don't have a Starbucks habit. I don't have a DoorDash habit. But what I do love for sure are things to make my house smell good. There are two things that I have been loving recently. Number one is Bois de Balancourt. Number 4, I love their candle, but I also love their reed diffuser. I've had it since, I think, October or so, and I'm still turning the wicks over. It is May at the time of me filming this. It still smells amazing, and I have it in my foyer. The other thing that I have been loving as far as candles are concerned is the candle that I am currently burning today. This one actually I used a gift card that my friend Bernice, hey girl hey, got me for my birthday, and I went up to a price point that I may not have spent on an everyday candle myself outside of a special occasion like a housewarming gift. But I'm so happy that I did. This smells dynamic. It is by Jo Malone. It is a limited edition candle and it is Oud and Velvet Rose. Oud is my jam in everything from like a fragrance for your body to body oils, whatever it may be. If it's Oud, I'm there. I'm showing up early. And Rose happens to be one of my favorite diptyque fragrances. And diptyque is another company outside of Jo Malone that is known for great candles, fragrances, etc. I actually visited the diptyque flagship store in Paris with my mom, and we both just lost our minds. I mean, you would have thought we were a kid walking into Disney World. It was, my aunt was like, I don't understand why y'all are so happy right now. What is happening? It's just amazing. And I'm so excited because the diptyque is coming to DC soon. If you see me in Georgetown pulling up, just say, hey girl, hey, okay? Because I will be there. I just love a great scent. I think a quality candle also is amazing because the scent throws and it creates an entire ambiance in your home. This candle has been in the back of my house and I've smelled it all the way to the front. That's just how fragrant it is. And a quality candle also does not even have to be lit sometimes to make a room smell fantastic. And as it starts to get a little low, what I do to preserve it and get the most out of my dollars is I use a candle warmer in order to make sure I'm getting all that wax out even as the wick burns out. Have a million tricks around candles that I will not bore you with, okay? However, just know that I love a great candle. Let me know if you have any favorite candle brands down below. I would love to check them out. It is one of the luxuries that I absolutely live by. And that is it, good people. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Let me know down below, what are your favorite luxuries that are quiet, that are more about self-care? Maybe it's a bit of travel. What do you give yourself to look forward to? How are you nice to yourself, okay? I would love to know down below. In the meantime, make sure you are following me all across social media. You are subscribed to my channel, and I will see you good people across the internet. Peace.